Hey guys, and welcome to the Mind of Madness raid guide. Falsimir is the first boss of this wing. This is a two-phase fight, night and day. We use the following raid setup: 2 tanks, a purifier, a chloromancer, a fist act, a defiler, a bard, and a harp archon. The enrage timer is 8:30. The boss has the following mechanics. Phase 1, day phase. The boss doesn't cleave. He will apply the debuff Sunblight on the tank, meaning that this tank can only tank during the day phase. This debuff will last for the whole fight, even after death. This means that you cannot let your tank die at any point during the whole fight. The boss has a debuff called Sunscarred. This will make him gain 1 stack of building scars every 3 seconds during the day phase. Building scars will increase the boss's damage done by 3% per stack. He will cast sunbeams on the tank. This needs to be interrupted. If you fail to interrupt this, the tank will get a dot called Daybreak. This will deal a lot of damage. He will cast a buff on himself called Bright Bioluminescence. If you hit the boss with a range ability while he has this debuff, you will splash damage 5 meters around yourself. He will cast the opposite buff on himself as well. This one is called Vibrant Bioluminescence. If you hit the boss with a melee ability while this debuff is up, he will also splash damage 5 meters around you. So simply spread out when these debuffs are up and ignore it completely. Every 30 seconds there will be a purple AoE spawning around the room. If you step in it, you will be buffed with Fallen Shadows. This will protect you from Synapse Flare. If you place the boss inside the purple AoE, he will lose 1 stack of building scars every second. The boss will cast Synapse Flare. This is a raid wipe mechanic. If you didn't get the protection buff from the purple AoE, you will be one-shotted. Phase 2, night phase. 90 seconds into the fight, he will cast Back in the Night. This starts the night phase. He will now one-shot the tank with the Sunblight debuff, so you will need to tank swap as soon as the night phase starts. He will apply the debuff Awaken Shadows on the new tank. This means that this tank can only tank the night phase. During the night phase, anyone dying will give the boss a stacking debuff that will remain for the whole night phase. This buff will reduce the damage that specific class does by 20% per stack. So let's say a cleric dies during the night phase, it will buff the boss with 1 stack, and all the clerics in the raid will do 20% less damage to the boss during the rest of this night phase. So stay alive at all costs during the night phase. When the night phase starts, the day tank will get 2 stacks of a buff called Guided by the Light. This buff will be shared with anyone close to him, and he will need to run to every player in the raid to share the buff with them. At least that's how it was working. At the moment everyone gets it as soon as the night phase starts, so just keep an eye out. If you don't have the buff when the phase starts, just go to the tank to get it. The Guided by the Light buff will make you immune to 2 hits of Encroaching Shadows. There will be Encroaching Shadows or Pac-Mans moving around the room. You will need to avoid them. If you get hit by one, they will deal about 75k damage to you, but there is an internal cooldown on the damage, so you will not get multiple ticks within the same second. 5 forest children will spawn around the room. These cannot be damaged. They will pick a random raid member as target and start following that player. If you get close to them, they will deal about 10k damage during the night phase, so try to stay away from them. The boss will cap Synapse Lance on the tank. This will apply a 10-second debuff on the tank. This will remove all active shields from the tank and make him immune to receiving any shields for the duration of the buff. But that's not all, it will also increase the tank's damage taken by 30%. This cast will happen 3 times during the night phase. You can solve this easily by using Unstable Transformation on the first and the third cast, and every other cooldown like Covenant, Symbiosis, tank cooldowns, etc. on the second cast. There will also be red AoEs spawning where players are standing. These are called Synapse Rain. You will need to avoid them, they will deal about 20k damage. Keep in mind that these have traveling time. This will give you enough time to dodge them. After 90 seconds of night phase, he will cast Dawn's Return, and phase 1 will start again. The day tank will have to take over tanking. The only difference to the first day phase is that the forest children that spawn during the night phase will now remain for the rest of the fight. During the day, the forest children will be a lot faster and will deal a lot more damage. The night tank will get a reactive ability called Retreat to Shadows. This will pull the targeted forest child to him. So the night tank will need to stay away from players and pull the forest children to him. If you pull the forest children into the purple AoE, they will get a debuff called Fall in the Shadows. This will reduce their damage done by 50%. And these are all the mechanics. The phases will simply repeat every 90 seconds now. Let's go tame this beast. Pull the boss and place him in the center of the room. The raid can spread out around him. Remember that the boss doesn't cleave. As soon as he attacks, he will apply Sunblight on his target. This is the day tank debuff. He gains 1 stack of building scars every 3 seconds during the day phase. Sunbeams interrupt that. Bioluminescence, this is the range one, but as long as you stay spread you can just ignore it. 30 seconds in, the first purple AoE appears. Everyone needs to step inside to get the protection buff, and the tank needs to pull the boss inside of it to remove stacks of the building scars. Keep in mind that the bioluminescence buff is still active on the boss, so you should not go all in at the same time, and maybe slow down DPS or get ready for big heals. When people stack up, there's gonna be a lot of damage. He's now casting Synapse Flare. If you didn't get the protection buff, you will die. Bioluminescence, this is the melee one. Again, just stay spread and ignore it. One minute in, the next purple spawns. Again, everyone go in, take the buff, and the tank places the boss inside to remove the scar stacks. You can see the boss losing stacks of building scars. I will speed up until the next phase. "90 seconds in, this cast triggers the night phase. The tanks need to swap as the day tank will now be one-shotted by the boss. Everyone should get 2 stacks of Guided by the Light. Your feet should be glowing like this if you have it. Again, if you didn't get any stacks, just get close to the day tank. Remember that the night phase is all about surviving. If you die, your whole class will deal 20% less damage for each death. You can see these small ghost-like ads on the side. These are the forest children. Try to avoid them if you can, but they don't do much damage in this phase. He's now casting Synapse Lens. Again, we used Unstable Transformation and small cooldowns for the first and third cast. Now the Pac-Man waves are coming. Try to avoid them as best as you can. And here comes the Synapse Rain AoE. Again, don't be scared to use your immunity to run through the Pac-Mans. He's now casting the second Synapse Lens. On this one we will rotate all big healing cooldowns. The debuff lasts 10 seconds, so don't use all your cooldowns on the start. And the last Synapse Lens, again Unstable Transformation and small cooldowns. "90 seconds are over, he goes into the day phase again. The day tank needs to take over tanking, and the night tank, that's me in this case, will get the reactive to pull the forest children. I just stand near the entrance away from players and spam my macro to pull them. Remember that if you pull them into the purple AoE, they will do 50% less damage. I didn't know that on the first kill, so you cannot see that on this video. And that's the whole fight. The phases keep repeating until the boss is dead. I will speed it up until the end. And that's it guys, good luck on your kill. As always, I will add the Karuul Alerts that I have for this fight in the video info, and I will add the macro that I have as well. And as always, thanks for watching.
Fine. So strong. Oh no, good. Right on. we were all underneath this tail, and I didn't see those two.
That's right. Still no room.